The city of Memphis has one of the most famous planes of World War II as a namesake. The Memphis Belle now lives under a tent in downtown Memphis.
Basically flew in combat for about 148 hours. In that time, lost 9 engines. Both of these wings were destroyed, actually, and replaced. Both landing gear. One tail was blown off and another was burned off. You know, I think it's pretty incredible. And the airplane's really famous for being the first bomber to make that required 25 missions over German territory and return to the United States. But it's not the first one to make 25 missions. It's really probably the third. Hell's Angels was the first one to make it. So they said, well, I guess we like the name Memphis Belle better, so it was the one that came home. All right, well, let's put the strap on you here so you don't fall out when you're 6 miles high.
This had to be the worst job.
It was. You didn't get a parachute. How you like 8 hours in there at 65 below zero?
8 hours?
At least.
I'll give you about 8 minutes, then that's about it. I think I'm done.
Let's get you out of there.
To those men, this film is gratefully dedicated.
This 32-story landmark is the 3rd largest pyramid in the world. The base of this sports and entertainment facility would cover 6 football fields. The Egyptian pyramids are larger, but Memphis would kick their butts in football, so it all balances out in the end.
A lot of hotels use gimmicks to try to get you to stay there, but being the smart consumer that I am, that stuff rarely works on people of my intellectual brain thingy. However, there is one attraction at the Peabody Hotel that one should never miss on any trip to Memphis. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Peabody Ducks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the March of the Peabody Ducks.
Every morning at 11 a.m. they march down the red carpet and stay in the fountain all day. 5 o'clock, they come on out, march back down the red carpet, and get off of work, retire in the Duck Palace.
And this attracts a lot of people, does it not?
Hundreds of people every day. You know, they sit out and wait 30 minutes in line like they're going to see the duck march.
How did this whole duck thing begin here at the Peabody?
Well, the general manager of the hotel there in the 1930s, his name was Frank Shutt, and he'd been duck hunting. And in the 1930s, you could use live duck decoys to bring in the birds, and he'd had a few drinks as well there. When they came back to Memphis, they stopped by the hotel to see how everything was going, and after a few more shots, they decided it'd be a great idea to put their decoys in the fountain, and they've been there ever since.
You ever feel like ducking out of work? What do you think the chances are for the Anaheim Mighty Duck this year? Do you think the Ducks have a good chance? Yeah, that was my thought as well. How much do the Ducks make?
Even though they all have bills, they really don't get paid very well at all. The smarter ducks are always the nicer ones because they warm up to you a lot. They'll come eat out of your hand.
They're like little dogs.
They're like little dogs. I'll tell you what, a smart duck is smarter than a dumb dog.
Except duck tastes way better than dog.
Well, it's according to who you ask.
Do they serve duck on the Peabody menu?
It would be in poor taste to serve duck around here.
I don't think he likes me.
Mud Island features a model of the Mississippi. It's 954 miles of river scaled down to the length of 5 city blocks. This model Mississippi empties into a swimming pool of the Gulf of Mexico, and it's a great place to play Godzilla.
One of the most popular meals here in Memphis is a good old-fashioned barbecue. You know, when people shorten it, they shorten it to BBQ. However, there's no Q in barbecue. It's CUE, so it really should be BBC, not BBQ. Why people call it BBQ is beyond me. It should be BBC, and I'm going to call it BBC. Anyhow, I digress. Folks here love barbecue. As a matter of fact, Memphis is the pork barbecue capital of the world, and nobody does barbecue better than this place, the Rendezvous. There's so much history on the walls here. I wish there were someone who could explain it to me.
I'm John Burgess, and I'm one of the owners of the Rendezvous, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
I love having my own TV show. John, let me ask you a question. I was looking at the walls. There's a lot of history on these walls
When
here.
my father started it in 1948, he didn't really have funds for an interior designer, and he just started hanging this stuff up. Some of it has become priceless antiques. Some of it continues to be junk, but mixed together, it's pretty unique.
John, is there anything I should know about my server, Jack?
Well, number one, he's been here for 35 years. Number two, if you tipped him, you're one of the few. But
How many years have you been here?
This would be my punishment, is come down here and bust tables on Friday and Saturday nights. I've been here quite a while myself.
So you've been here since you've been punishable.
That's right, which was quite frequently.
What's the worst tip you ever had?
$1. I hope that's not you.
No, Jack, come on. Hey, let Mr. Washington do the talking. Oh, there you go.
All right. As a matter of fact, this is the first tape I waited on when I came here.
Was it really? This was the very first, and I'm sitting. So this is like a piece of history right over here.
That's history right here.
Did you think it was a French restaurant too?
Oh yeah.
Do people come here expecting French food?
First thing they walk in, they say, "You got any spaghetti or potatoes?" Never had potatoes. All we got is beans and slop.
3 basic food groups right here, aren't they, Jack?
But it's non-fattening.
Non-fattening? How are they non-fattening?
Hey, we take all the calories out of it. Really?
You took the calories. So I can eat this, I won't gain a pound.
You won't gain a pound.
You've never eaten this before then, have you?
I wouldn't say that, Rick. Look.
Can I rub it for luck? There we go.
For luck, Rick.
What's the neatest thing about working at the Rendezvous? What makes it so special?
Guys like you.
Guys like me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Jack, you keep sweet talking. Look at that, another Mr. Wash. You know what to say.
No kid, guys like you, you know.
I'd love to taste this and give you Rick's rating, but being the Jewish guy that I am, pork is unkosher and I'm not allowed to eat it. Ah, what the heck. All right, that's good pork. Rick's rating for the Rendezvous, 4 ribs out of 5.
Beale Street was once the most exclusive neighborhood in Memphis, until the residents were driven out by yellow fever epidemics. But now, Beale Street is crawling with life again. Nightlife. And let me tell you, this joint is jumping.
But what this street is most recognized for is for being the home of the blues.
When I needed you to stand by my side, when I needed you to stand by my side, all you did, baby, is laugh while I cried. Now you want me to take you back in my arms.
How do you know when you have the blues?
I did the whole 9 yards, the picking cotton, feeding the hoes, the cows, the chickens. I did the whole 9 yards, so that's why I got the blues.
That's what gave you
For
the
real.
blues.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what gave me
Well,
the
I had to
blues.
work with cows all day. I need
Right,
blues
exactly,
too. Yeah.
exactly. You play the blues, but it's a different thing when you play the blues and feel the blues.
Things improve, you know, guys like B.B. King, making millions and millions of dollars now.
True.
Do they still have the blues?
He haven't got the broke blues.
You don't have the broke blues.
He doesn't have the no money blues, but he got the women blues.
He's got the women blues?
Yeah, and the people that he deal with on a daily basis,
So the blues isn't just one whole feeling.
No,
it could
no,
be a
no.
lot of little things. The
A lot of
women
little
blues,
things, right,
the money blues,
right.
the work blues.
Exactly.
So there's a lot
You
of...
can have a job that you just dislike, but you got to go every day because you can't do any better right now.
And that's the working blues.
That's the blues, man.
That's the blues. What does BB stand for in B.B. King's?
What does BB stand for? You got to find it out for yourself.
You're not going to tell me, all
I
right?
can't tell you.
You're from Memphis. What does BB stand for in B.B. King's?
God, don't ask me.
You should be ashamed.
Oh, wait a minute, let me take my jacket off.
Well, sure. I always think better naked, too.
Big boobies is good.
Boobies? That's right.
Big
It stands for boobies.
I don't know. That one you got
You're
me on.
from Memphis?
Yeah.
I gave you some time. Actually, you've been standing in the same spot for 2.5 hours. Don't you people have anything to do? All right, you guys got to go back to your hotel, think one up, and come back and find me, all right?
Right.
Yes, you have to. You've been grounded. All of you go. Go.
Blues boy.
You're sure on yours?
He was young when he was playing the blues, and they gave him the name Blues Boy.
So if he was a girl, he would have been BG King?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Thanks, brother.
So BB stands for Blues Boy. Makes sense. Memphis is home of the National Civil Rights Museum. This bus is a replica of the one on which Rosa Parks made her famous stand.
Now, please move back. If you don't move out of that seat, I'll have you arrested.
It was in this room of the Lorraine Motel where civil rights leader Martin Luther King was assassinated in 1968.
When I first heard of the Fire Museum of Memphis, I really had no interest at all.
But I convinced Rick to give it a try.
I was a little skeptical because I've tried other fire museums before. At first glance, the museum was very informative and educational.
I was convinced that our interactive exhibits would, well, capture Rick's childlike mind.
Hi there, I'm Old Billy. Thanks for stopping by.
I really liked the horse a lot.
I knew Rick would really like our horse.
Putting out the fire was so cool.
Great job, rookie.
Then I got to ride in the fire truck. Turned on the siren, was pressing the horn. It was like I was really there. The fire room is very realistic.
Our fire room is very realistic.
Then there was this maze that you work your way through. You gotta feel for the hot doors and the cold doors and get your way out of the house. It was like I was really in a burning home. Then after, I saw a puppet. I didn't like him at all.
Get out of my way.
You're a puppet.
You're an idiot.
I'm really glad I visited the Fire Museum of Memphis.
I told you you'd have a good time.
You were right. It was great.
Travel tip number 242. How to protect your valuables while on vacation.
One major concern travelers have is keeping their valuables safe. Today I'm going to share with you a few ideas on how to protect those valuables. One of the most effective ways is to travel with protection. This is Bubba. Hi, Bubba.
Hi, Rick.
Now, Bubba is what's known in the business as travel insurance. Now, not everyone can afford a guy like Bubba, so here are a few other ideas. This is a money belt. Now, most people wear these suckers under their clothes, but not me. I'm too clever for that. I wear mine on the outside, but I don't keep any money in it. It's just a decoy. I keep all my money right here in my trusty sock.
It's a little uncomfortable, but it really works.
Clever, huh? Now, one of the hardest things to do is to protect your wallet. Here's a great way to do this. This sucker here's my own invention. It's called the Wall Club. It makes it next to impossible to have your wallet ripped off. One word of advice, just be careful when you're sitting down.
Swimming pool, gratefully supplied, courtesy of the 4 Points Hotel by Sheraton.
Ladies and gentlemen, the March of the Peabody Ducks.
You must keep your ducks in a line. Right this way, baby.
Well, that wraps up this week's episode of The Tourist from Memphis, Tennessee. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Right now, I gotta get out of here. I've been invited to go bathe with a couple of hot chicks.